Hi guys, got another horror DVD review today, and this is a film that's called Goatman Murders. Although it isn't actually called the Goatman Murders, it's never mentioned in the film. In the titles it's called Deadly Detour, which I assume is the original title. So here is the Goatman Murders, and it looks absolutely brilliant. It's a really good cover, really good design. You know, I don't know if you can tell, it's all like, what's the word for it, like shiny and stuff like that. Shiny, and really good quality, and the killer looks great, the horns and everything. But that's a lie. This is probably the worst one I've ever seen. I bought it for £3 from Asda. Asda, like, buying something from Asda, a film from Asda particularly, I expected it to at least have some production value, but this is genuinely the biggest load of crap I've ever bought. I mean, if I knew it was going to be as bad as it was, I wouldn't be giving it probably as bad a review as I'm going to. But, you know, because of how good the cover looks, and, you know, it's so well designed, and I was expecting a decent film, but, like, if you've seen Camp Blood, it's probably about the same budget as that, and going into that film I knew it was going to be really, really terrible, so I kind of enjoyed it, and I did kind of enjoy this, but it looked like it was recorded on a Nokia. Like, it's not in widescreen, it's all the sounds recorded, you know, not by a boom or anything. It's just recorded by the camera. And you know, it's that poor actually. If it was recorded by a boom, it'd probably be visible for the whole time. That's how I know it went even. That's one of the ways I knew, because like, you know, you can always see crew in the background or whatever. Like every time the camera would shake randomly like someone and knock the camera. But anyway, it's about two carload of friends who are going to some place, but Florida. And they stop off because the car breaks, and slowly they start getting killed by the Goatman, who isn't even a Goatman. He basically is a hillbilly from Wrong Turn, if you've seen that. He looks like one of them, you know, he's got the overalls, the whole hillbilly outfit. You know, going around with his Jason machete and stuff like that, random, like, just spawning random weapons from thin air, you know, to kill people in really gruesome ways. I mean, the only good thing the film has for it is the levels of violence. There is plenty of blood, plenty of guts, even though sometimes it's not well done and it's stupid and really far-fetched, but there was still plenty of violence, which, you know, if there wasn't so much violence, I probably would have turned the film off. But, yeah, it's really poor. It's not widescreen. The quality is terrible. The acting is terrible. There wasn't a single person who delivered one convincing line throughout the entire film. And, you know, the dialogue as well was pathetic, like really poorly written. Also, the sound was terrible. There was a couple of sex scenes, and suddenly this jazz music would start playing, like, jazz music. And oh my god. And the editing was really bad, like, people, like, it would cut and someone would have, like, a random object in the hands that they didn't have in, like, before it cut. But, you know, I know it's a really poor film, and I know it had no budget, but if it wasn't for this, like, fantastic cover, really well designed, I wouldn't be slating it as much, but I've got to give it, like, because I expected this to be a genuine, decent, lowish budget film, but I expected, in fact, the money I paid to buy this DVD would probably cover the budget for the film, if there was no violence. But overall, like, the film was terrible. Terrible. As I said, the acting was terrible. Like, all the characters were just hateable, and one of them was a complete rip-off of Will from In-Between. As if you're in the UK, you probably would have seen that. There was a US remake, but it was crap as well. But one of the characters was just pretty much a rip-off of him. And all the characters were hateable. Were just hated. It was all so annoying. One of them, the main girl, like she was just the worst actress I've ever seen, and she was just screaming and screaming, like, just over the top screaming, and it got so annoying, and I just wanted to see her get killed. Anyway, so the one thing in the film, like, which is really memorable, is the ending, when the lone survivor stumbles across a bus, jumps on board, hoping to flee the Goatman. He doesn't have horns or anything, he's just got a mask. Like they bought it from a pound shop and just put the mask, like some deformed mask on. I mean, the cover shows he clearly resembles a goat, he's got horns and everything, and that's just not in the film at all. Like, that is false advertisement in my eyes. That is false advertisement. But whatever, anyway, this bus scene, she gets on and it's a deaf bus, full of deaf people. And she basically just hides at the back.
It's blind, isn't it?
Oh, sorry, yeah, blind. He must have been deaf.
Yeah, I thought.
And mute. I bet they must have just been cabbages, because he started killing them all one by one in really bizarre ways, whilst the others just sat there in line. I know they were blind, but they're not dumb. Surely they would have known. Like, there's guts and blood is splashing on them, that they would have known something is going wrong. But no, they just don't. Every now and again, one would get up and just be slaughtered. And one of the most ridiculous, grotesque things I've ever seen was a pregnant blind woman stood up, and he knocked her to the ground and stood on her bump. And the baby shot out, crying like a little fetus. And she used the umbilical cord to strangle it. And I was just, you're watching it like, what? It's got like this really terrible heavy metal track playing over it. Whilst all these blind people have just sat there waiting to be slaughtered. It was funny. So that was if you're really sick and twisted, that was great. But that's the only thing in the film that's actually enjoyable. I was laughing throughout the whole film. Like, it was ridiculous. There was things that didn't make sense. Like, someone was blended by a car engine. Like, the car wasn't on, but the Goatman just appeared and put his face in it, and he started getting blended to pieces. It was breaking bones, and I don't even know. But whatever, it did provide some decent violence, that scene, so I'm going to let it slip. One of the most stupid things about it is one of the guys, he suspected someone of killing other people. Like, he just arrived, found his friends dead. One of them come up with an axe and said, "Hey, look what I found." So he just batters him and cuts off his leg and leaves him to die as the Goatman's attacking. He didn't show any remorse. Another girl got attacked whilst that guy was around, and this guy was supposed to be the hero. He wasn't like a coward. He just disappeared, and that girl slowly got beat up and killed and her head crushed, whilst the other guy just disappeared. So, this is genuinely one of the worst ones I've ever seen. But at the same time, if it wasn't so well advertised and well designed cover, I wouldn't be slating it. I'd be saying it's a fun, because at the end of the day, it was a fun film. But if you know how terrible it is, I suppose you'll know what more to expect. We didn't watch the trailer because I just seen it in Asda for £3, and I thought, I'm gonna get it. And I wouldn't have paid £3 if I knew what it was. I'd have paid 10 pence, 3 pence maybe. But everything about the film was cheap and nasty and terrible. Not in a good way either, because you can get nasty films in good ways, but this was just weird. It was just beyond. It's beyond. It's just. I can't explain it. It's just a really low budget film, and I can't believe that this got in Asda as well. Like, the film itself got in Asda. It's like they seen the cover and just said, yeah, we'll sell that. Without watching the film, because I didn't even think it was the right film at first. Because when the film title came up on the film, it's called Deadly Detour. The guy, the killer's called a Goatman, but he doesn't have horns or hooves or anything like he's shown in here. It was just baffling. It was really unbelievable, and I don't really know what more to say. I'm giving it a 1 out of 10. It's a terrible film, but at the same time, if you like really low budget films, go ahead and watch it. You'll be extremely disappointed either way. I'm not going to say I can't recommend it, but it's worth watching because it's kind of hilarious. Thanks for watching, and yeah, that's my review of The Goatman.